Hi everyone, it's Stacy. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you've had a good week and let's do a little bit of yoga together. As we continue on with our series, today we are talking about Asteya, Asteya, which is non-stealing. So basically, how are we protecting our time and energy? Because we need to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others, animals in our world, whatever we are caring for, we need to protect our time and energy. And so let's begin standing today. I do have a yoga block. If you have one, you might want to bring it in, your mat, whatever you need for practice. And so taking your feet about hip width apart, just coming to this open body, this clear mind, just starting to connect with our breath. You can leave the eyes open. You can close them if you'd like to go inside and just have some quiet and peace for a few breaths. And so just find that natural rhythm to your breath, not changing a thing. But what breath allows you to be present, to find a sense of calm? You might feel the breath into the chest. Perhaps today we're allowing ourselves to breathe a bit deeper, but just find your authentic natural breath. Let's do about 3 more breaths in and out. And then as we're ready, we'll take that right hand over the heart, that left hand interlacing thumbs. And this is our Garuda Mudra, mudras being our hand gestures. In a moment, Garuda is our freedom mudra, and offering ourselves the freedom to believe in ourselves, to be confident in our decisions, and to love ourselves unconditionally. And then as we release those hands back to just wherever they're comfortable, a little stair-step breath. Stair-step breath looks like this. We're going to take 3 sips of air as we lift the chin. On our exhale, drawing the chin back down toward the chest. So let's do those together, 3 sips of air. Exhale as we draw the chin back down to the chest. So a few times on your own. Maybe one more time. And then let's just open those hands out, thumbs up, and then rotate thumbs down. So this internal and external rotation of the shoulders as we open our heart space. And remember, as you practice today, and you practice within your range that your body is operating at today, protecting that time and energy, exerting the energy you would like for a practice that suits you. But if you're a little more tired today, maybe you're a bit more reserved and slow it down. So a few more times as we open and close the chest. We might want to even add some rounding of the back as we intensify the movement a bit more, if that feels right. As we do a couple more times, And then we just relax those hands down to our side. Start to press our heels down, yogi stair steppers. Just imagine we're rotating from ball to foot to pressing it down, warming up the calves, the legs. And then we'll even out our sides and place both feet down. Let's sink back into that chair pose. Open the hands and flow through chair a few times. One more time. And we'll just bring those hands back down to our sides. Roll the shoulders back, ground through the feet, reach long with the hands. One more just normal, natural breath for you. And then we're going to step to the long edge of the mat. Widening our stance, heels in, toes out. So as we head down into our goddess posture, again, honoring knees and hips. And swaying a bit side to side. If we glance down, we can see those big toes, so we know our knees are safely tracking over. If you have a block, you might want to bring it in front of you for later. If you don't have it, don't worry. But we're going to sink down, allow those hips to open. We keep a lot of tightness in our hips, our psoas muscle, and everything can start to loosen and give us a little more freedom. And let's draw the elbows in toward the ribs. On our inhale, as we press through the legs, thumbs come toward one another, lengthening. Exhale, draw the hands in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, draw them in your own pace through our moonflowers. Let's do about 4 more, whatever pace you're working at today. And after that last one, as we bring our hands all the way up, straighten those legs. Now take your toes and knees toward the long edge of the mat. So everything is pointing in the same direction. We're going to bend into one leg. It doesn't matter which. I'm bending into the left, you do whichever. We're going to drag that opposite foot over. Take your time. A little balancing 5-pointed star. Reach with those hands, find lots of length. Maybe lifting that opposite foot if it works for you today. If you feel a little unsteady, just bring the toe down. Don't forget to breathe. We'll release that foot back down, bring hands to heart center. Just a bit of a yogi squat there as we open out the hands again. Shifting to the other leg, dragging that opposite foot over, lifting into our 5-pointed star balance. Breathing and just gazing, softening the eyes. And come back, bring the hands to the waist. Might check on that stance, widening again as we hinge the hips back and we find that wider forward fold today. Now that block can come in handy. As y'all know, the key to touching the floor, your toes, whatever in yoga is bending the knees, right? We hinge around the hips. And we might want to start to lunge side to side, keeping the hips settled back. Don't forget about that head that we look behind us so we're not adding any tension. And it's your choice to go as low as you like or stay up higher if that's what your body is telling you today. We might just stay here or we might lower down a bit more. So flowing side to side. Wherever we are, let's balance our sides. So swaying, lunging, whatever you've chosen, we'll meet back in the center. Let's take one more opportunity to place the hands on the block, the floor. Look behind you, shaking that head. So we're releasing tension in the neck. I'll walk the hands right up above the knees. Take your time. We've been upside down, so we want to be careful to even out our blood pressure. And let's just dip the left shoulder in toward the right ankle. Then we'll draw it back and do the opposite side. Come back through center. We'll round that back, rolling all the way up. And let's heel toe in together. And I will meet you in all fours, hands the top of the mat, so you can see. So we come to our all fours posture, hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And let's find that cat posture. Round the back up toward the belly, up toward the spine. Press away with the hands, look behind you to protect that neck. And on your next inhale, lift the heart and the head. Dip the low belly down. So flowing between our cat and our cow. Let's do one more of our cat and cow. And then when you're ready, we'll sink back into child's pose. Might want to take big toes together, knees wide if we need a little more space. Sink the heels back, kind of wiggle our way down. And if hands and face don't quite meet, we can always stack the fist. Remember to tuck that chin so we can roll the forehead across the mat, the block, the hands, wherever we are. And take about 3 or 4 breaths. And as we bring ourselves back to that all fours, bringing knees underneath of the hips. Let's extend both feet back, moving through our plank and hiking the hips into our downward facing dog. Pressing the mat away with the hands, pedaling the feet down one at a time. And today, let's generously bend the knees, really press the hips high. And as we look between the hands, walking feet and hands toward one another, meeting in our forward fold, releasing all of the stress from the upper body. We might even want to take and cross hands over toward elbows, reaching for forearms, and allow our hands to guide us down a little deeper into the fold if that feels nice. If our low back feels like it needs more support, then using a block or the floor to support us. Wherever we are, we'll release those hands down to the mat. Let's slide them up to the shins. Flatten the back, lengthen the head into our halfway lift or monkey pose. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, slide them all the way down toward the ankles. Let's start to walk our hands up all the way toward the top of the body. And we'll come back to our mountain pose, rolling the shoulders back, grounding through the four corners of our feet. And then let's step that right foot back. So we're stepping it back into our warrior one, where our back leg is grounded, and we take an opportunity to move the heel to where our knee feels safe as we square the hips toward the front of the mat, bending into that front leg so our knee is stacked over our ankle. We're going to raise that right arm, keeping our face soft, opening the side body on the right side. And as we take that left hand, clasping that right wrist, gently guiding the body toward the left side. So continuing to open through that right side. We'll come back through center. Let's release those hands, thumbs down, palm away toward the back. If we're able to drive, knuckles down, opening through the chest, protecting the head as we might choose to gaze up. And if you like, you can stay right here, or you might send the hips back and find a gentle, humble warrior into the inside of that front leg, lifting hands if you're able, if you're not, whatever works for you. We'll bring ourselves all the way back up. Let's just release those hands. We'll lift that back heel and step to the front of the mat. Let's circle the hips before we go to the other side. So we're gathering information on how opening that right hip felt, the right side body, and just learning to listen to what our body's telling us. As we come back through center and we bring those feet underneath of the hips, opening our shoulders and stepping that left foot back into that warrior one. Taking a breath or two just to orient, to ground. And as you're ready, lifting that left arm. You might even soften that arm. And as we take that right hand, clasping that elevated wrist, perhaps we lean further, opening our side body, our hip flexors. We come back through center. As we release those hands, thumbs down, perhaps we interlace fingers as we did earlier, choosing to stay up tall or hinging forward to the inside of that front leg. And pressing through the feet as we bring ourselves all the way up, releasing hands, lifting that back heel and stepping to the top of the mat. Let's sweep those arms overhead, a big breath in as we do. Exhale as we forward fold. Let's step the feet back into that all fours. Let's walk the knees behind the hips, and then we'll shift our weight forward so shoulders are over wrist in this kneeling plank. Now lowering ourselves down, elbows hinging backwards, and let's lift the heart and the head. Lowering and then lifting into our cobra pose. Inhaling as we lift, exhaling as we lower, widening feet if we feel pressure on the back. Let's do one more time. We'll lower ourselves down. And then let's press with the hands, lift with the belly. Bring ourselves back through that kneeling plank and exhale into our child's pose. We're going to flow through this gentle half series as we shift forward again, shoulders over wrist, lowering ourselves down, sweeping our chest open into our cobra, exhaling back into our child's pose. If you're new to yoga and this flow seems like a little too much going on, take your time. Know that you have that strength. We might just need to work on it a bit, but it will come in time. And you can always just stay in child's if that feels best. Or stay in cobra on the ground, whatever works for you. Let's flow about 2 more times. We will meet back on our bellies. Let's cross hand over hand. Lift the feet. As we start to sway the legs side to side, lengthen the neck. Place the hands right on the hands, that forehead in contact with the hands, and roll side to side, temple to temple. Stimulating that ventral vagal line that helps us to find calm and peace. About 2 more sways. Stay right where you are. I'm just moving so y'all can see me better. So as you release those feet down and you draw the hands back towards you, shoulders over elbows, feet about hip width apart, imagine that you're drawing your elbows closer to you as you lift the spine into our Sphinx pose. And just finding that breath. You might notice it into the belly since the belly is pressing into the mat. And taking this right hand, placing it behind that left hand. So the right shoulder rests down on the mat. And then we take this free hand, this left hand, we make a little pillow, a little fist. As we place our cheek, so we're looking toward that extended hand. We allow our lower body to ease, our glutes. This is called half knot. We give ourselves permission to ease, to stretch through the shoulders. And if it doesn't feel right, finding a position that feels better for you. Child's pose always available. Let's do about 3 more breaths. As we lift ourselves up, bringing both hands back to that Sphinx pose, thinking of it as a reset, evening out the body. And then when we're ready, we can take that left hand, slide it behind that right. That left elbow travels down, and we can take a moment to adjust. And then take that right hand, make a fist, placing it wherever it feels good, on the cheek, on the temple, by the ear. And once you arrive, allow your lower body to lose the tension. And the face, the shoulders, as we just breathe. About 3 more breaths. We bring ourselves all the way back up, those hands underneath, elbows tucked in as we press with the hands, lift with the belly back into that child's pose. And this time in our child's pose, we might want to walk hands side to side. We can also lift one arm, kind of peek underneath of the armpits. Can even bring hands back by the heels. Sometimes that feels nice to take some pressure off of the shoulders. And then we'll bring the hands back underneath of us, press ourselves up, and I will meet you on your back. When you're on your back, a few options are hugging the knees into the chest, rolling the ankles. We might reach for ankles, feet as we elevate the feet above the knees for happy baby. Take a few moments just to see what you need today. Another option is bringing soles of the feet together for a butterfly. So taking this chance just to listen to your individual body. And then when you're ready, we'll release ourselves down into final relaxation. However you like to be. You can outstretch the legs, outstretch the hands, offering yourself any support that you need. You can even be on your side. And so closing your eyes, I am going to sit up just so I can read, but you guys stay right where you are. And as we have taken the time to be in touch with our bodies, knowing that we are protecting our time and energy just by being here today. Having gratitude for the bodies that we've been given. Offering ourselves freedom, confidence, unconditional love. And so as you start to soften through the face, the shoulders, the chest, the abdominals, the hips, the legs, the back body, and the arms, taking all the time you need to find that little extra bit of comfort. We reconnect with the breath, just breathing in and out. Breathing through our hearts, gratitude for our physical body. Thanks to our eyes, which see the beauty of a flower. Our ears that hear a melodious sound. Or our legs, which help us to enjoy a stroll. Giving thanks to our physical body. Giving thanks to our emotions. Maybe it's empathy to connect to those in our lives. Our passion to help those in need. Giving thanks to our emotions. And exploring our gratitude for the trust in ourselves. Those times when we've had our own back. Times that were hard. And you persevered. Or a moment when we trusted ourselves. So allowing gratitude to find its way into our bodies, our hearts, our minds. Choosing to stay here as long as you like. You can always pause the video if you need more time. When you are ready, you can find any organic movement, hugging the knees into the chest, perhaps even rolling elbow to elbow, and ending up on your favorite side for a few breaths. Coming back to seated when you're ready. And I will meet you here. And when we come to seated, dip our chin back down to that chest as we did earlier. Let's do that breath about 3 more times, that stair step breath. 3 sips of breath in as we tilt the head back gently. Exhale as we draw the chin back toward the chest. Let's do that again. And one more time. And we'll bring our hands to our heart center, our namaste hands. I thank you all so much for allowing me to be part of your day as you protect your time, your energy, and you find that unconditional love for yourselves. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you find peace and ease. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of the day, my friends. See you soon.